Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Bumi and today we are watching Elemental Type Moves The Secret Meta by TierZoo. This one was suggested by SRSK Lab over here. And yeah, this is a very short video actually, less than 5 minutes if I'm not mistaken. And this is probably going to talk about like the rock, paper, scissors between different elemental types. I'm guessing we're gonna probably have water, air, land will probably represent Earth. I don't think there are any fire-breathing animals right now, so I don't know how fire is going to be represented, but I guess we'll see how this goes. So remember, if you like my reactions, don't forget to leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestion on what I should check on next. That being said, let's go ahead and watch the video. Oof. This is gonna be good.
There are some
How
really
old
awesome
is
moves
this
in the
video?
game that a lot of players end up unlocking. Tackle, slash, thrash, stomp, double edge, etc. These attacks are all really great techniques that can be viable during your entire playthrough. However, they all have one thing in common. They're all normal type. And this isn't a bad thing. The vast majority of the most viable builds in the meta got to where they are because of how good their normal type moves are.
Yeah.
But today we're going to push past the normal type moves and
What do
analyze
we
the
have?
other possibilities that exist.
Water?
The elemental moves. While they take a huge amount of evolution points to spec into, the meta right now is pretty much centered around normal type moves, and as a result, resistance to elemental type attacks is generally almost non-existent. With that said, let's get into it.
That's true.
So probably the most popular example of this is the electric
Oh,
eel.
that's right.
Just like its name
Electricity.
implies, this build forgoes the popular choice of specking into fins, teeth, and well, really any aesthetics at all, and sinks all of its evolution points into a single signature move, Discharge. This electric type
That's
attack
very
is a
effective,
short-range
too.
AoE burst move that can be used both offensively and defensively. Its damage scales inversely with the target's size, so while it can insta-gib entire parties of fish, most larger builds will walk away with only minimal HP loss. That is, unless it crits and procs a cardiac arrest or a seizure.
Oh.
Since this move can be used both on offense and defense,
Oh,
and
shit,
has almost no
really?
counterplay besides just tanking it and trying to escape, I rank the electric
Yeah.
as 8.
Wait, is that wire or something?
Held back.
Okay, so I've heard that the electric eel shock is really powerful. Like TierZoo said, it's powerful enough to induce a heart attack. So that's probably gonna be like putting a fork through an outlet, I'm guessing. But I've also heard that it just depends because it's never a 0 to 100 thing. The eel can adjust the voltage or amperage. I'm not, I don't know my electrical terms, so forgive me for that. But yeah, I think you know what I'm going for.
Back from S tier only by its low intelligence and low mobility due to lack of strong fins. Next up, we have a group of fish players
Archer
who traded
fish,
HP,
yeah.
strength, and defense for one of the only range attacks in the game, the Archer Fish.
Akimbo.
Archer Fish can use the move Water Gun. This move doesn't do much damage.
Oh man. The Akimbo M1887 shotguns. Those were days. Those were the days, really. I can still remember. Man,
The Archer Fish.
nostalgia.
Archer Fish can use the move Water Gun.
Water gun.
This move doesn't do much damage, but it has a high chance of knocking small targets off their feet, which can of course combo straight into pretty much anything.
Nope.
In order to actually spec
Combo
this
into
move,
an execute.
not only did these players need to invest in the structural evolution required to cast this ability, but they also had to greatly increase their intelligence in order to be able to aim their shots. Connecting a hit with this move requires you to intuit how far away your target is, how much force is needed to knock it down, and also gauge the distortion effect of light refraction. While this is all very impressive, personally I don't see Archer Fish as exceptionally viable in the meta, for a few reasons. Most importantly, this ability has no defensive use, in a meta where defense is extremely important.
That is
Furthermore,
true.
this ability requires
That water gun is very ineffective inside the water, where most of the archer fishes, how do you call this? Predators probably live.
the player to camp at the surface of the water, which is precisely where you don't want to be if you're playing on the same server as Eagles, Hawks, and other high-tier aerial
Yeah,
builds.
that's actually true as well. Ooh, triple
With all
kill.
this considered, I'd put the Archerfish at the top of C tier. Ranged attacks are extremely effective, but you need a solid foundation for them to really excel. If you're looking for a good ranged build, be sure to watch my video on optimizing snakes.
Yeah,
Or
we've
if
seen
you're
that
picky
one.
enough that you want an aquatic build with ranged or
Orcas.
elemental abilities, definitely research the Orca, a build so incredibly overpowered that I'm just going to need to make an entirely separate video on them.
I'm sorry.
The last build I want to talk about today possesses an explosive fire-type move, the Bombardier
Really?
Beetle. This is an example of how sometimes there are abilities that are worth going through an entire skill tree of boring and weak abilities just to get to. In this case, the Beetle players who unlocked this ability had to spec deep into the chemistry tree, which is pretty much all composed of gross
Very
and
interesting.
unappealing powers like skunk smells and
I've never
anti-debuff
heard of the
agents. Most
Bomba.
insect players do spend a
This
few
beetle
points here
before.
and unlock 1 or 2 abilities in this tree. However, if you unlock enough of these at the same time, they can be simultaneously used to produce a completely different move, one of the only fire-type moves available in the entire game.
Really
Fireballs.
now?
This can of course inflict a burn, which both does damage and inflicts its target with a serious debuff to many important stat modifiers
shit,
like the
son.
immune system. But really, all of those effects are just icing on the cake. All these players really need this ability for is to escape
it really fire?
disadvantageous situations, either by blinding the enemy or causing them to
Is it really fire or just like a chemical reaction that like induces a sense of burning? It's probably the latter, right?
flinch so that they miss their chance to attack. Since beetles are already minimum B tier, I would say that this excellent defensive move firmly puts them in A tier, kept out of S tier because they still lack the most powerful insect-exclusive ability in the game, which I'll cover in another video.
You social.
Anyways, in summary, elemental type attacks are costly.
These
So
are
you really
you
need to weigh
social,
your
right?
options and plan out your build in advance before you attempt them. New players are almost always better off sticking to good all-rounder builds, like the bear, iguana, and boar. But if you're clever about
Or
it,
just be an
you can
orca.
really get some amazing gameplay out of these unique abilities.
Yeah, this is an older video. So yeah, guys, if you wanna support TierZoo, there's a link to his Patreon page right there. Oh man, yeah, very interesting video. I was not expecting there to be an actual fire type build, but well, can you really call it a fire type? I didn't see any combustion happening. The way the skill tree was laid out, where it ended up having dual chambers, it kind of reminds me of how some fictional dragons are portrayed. It's like in their mouth they have like this 2 tubes where 2 separate chemicals are released, and when they what do you call this? They contact one another, they basically combust into flames. But I didn't really see that. It would have been very cool if we got a thermal shot of that thing actually happening, so that we can see if it actually combusts or if it's just a chemical reaction that induces like a burning sensation. But nevertheless, it's pretty cool that we have our own like fire type animal out there. The archerfish, very good point. It lacks 0 defensive capabilities. For birds that like to go for fish, they probably wouldn't care about the water pressure that much. It's probably not even strong enough to bother them. And the first one that we have, who was it? Which one was it? Oh man, I have a memory of a goldfish. God damn it, I forgot. Let me check. The eel. That's right, electricity. That was among the 3. That's probably my choice if I'm going for an elemental type. It is just very handy. If you time it correctly, it's like poison, right? For poison to be effective, you need to take damage. But it's different with the eel because it has a bit of a range if you pump out enough electrical current. So if you time it correctly, then you'll never need to be hit, and I think that's the most important part. But yeah, good video as always from TierZoo, but that's a bit for me today, guys. Link to my Twitter is down in the description below. Go and check it out if you want to, and if you're new here and enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions and what I should check out next. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!